Yay! And we are live. Great greetings, my beautiful, beautiful spiritpreneur goddesses. You are in for a juicy conversation. I cannot believe we decided to have a video conversation during Mercury in retrograde when everything technology goes haywire. But it is all good because this beautiful, magical goddess that you see here with me is Goddess Amanda, who is going to help you to get all of your website issues together. She is going to share with you a secret to quickly build the most beautiful sites in the world. So I'm going to tell you all about her business and then we're going to talk to her. All right. So let's get started. So here's what it says about her launch and sell websites. I love her work, by the way. If you want an awesome website without the exhaustion of learning the tech, you are in the right place. Goddess Amanda creates WordPress themes to help female entrepreneurs like you, my spiritpreneur goddess, to build an amazing website quickly without any coding or knowledge. I've used 2 of her website templates, her themes in the past, and they are gorgeous. And she says she understands what it's like to start from scratch. She's been there. It can be stressful. It can be overwhelming. And that's why she created her WordPress themes. So welcome, Goddess Amanda. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad that you're here. So we've heard a little bit about the woman behind Launch and Sell. Who are you really? Tell us all about you.
I'm Amande, and I'm the founder of Launch and Sell, like you said. I'm French, I have an accent, born and raised in Paris. So I'm an entrepreneur, web developer, and website expert. And like you said, my goal really is to help female entrepreneurs get the websites they need for their business. On a more personal level, I'm a traveler at heart, and I really enjoy exploring new places and countries. And I've traveled a lot in Europe, and I've lived in different few countries. The funny thing is, I really love going to countries, discovering the culture. And I have this little thing with my partner where we'd like to visit as many theme parks in Europe as possible before we're 30. So we're trying to do all the theme parks we can. And we've done pretty well so far. We visited theme parks in France, Spain, Portugal, Germany. It's really something we enjoy doing. Our next target is very exciting because we're going to the US, to Disney World. So it's going to be my first time in the US, so I'm super excited.
That is pretty cool. Now, is Disney World the one in California? It's not the one in Florida. Disney World is California, right?
It's Orlando, Florida.
Oh, okay. I have been to that one. Well, not in a very, very long time, but as a kid, it was awesome. And so I think that you are going to love it. And I have to let you know when I am in Paris again. And so I was really excited about this conversation today. And I know that you were too, because I'm not only a fan of your business, I am a customer of your business. And I promote your business because I believe so much in what you're doing for women entrepreneurs. And the reason is, Amanda, that I get the opportunity to work with the amazing coaches, healers, creative gurus, artisans. And the biggest block, as you know, that women entrepreneurs that we use is to say, the technology, I can't deal with the technology. Tell us about your business, Launch and Sell.
So that's true. So really, what the biggest thing is the website, because social media has been made super easy for everyone to use, but the website is still very techy. So let's say you're a coach and you will need a website because you will want to share your knowledge and offer your services and product out there. And while social media is going to be great for exposure and marketing, you will want your own platform to grow your business. The problem is that not a lot of people know about web design and all the tech, and it's completely understandable because you're good at what you're doing, at helping people. But everything that is behind the tech, you would like to have some help with it because it's not your core expertise. And the instant answer would be to hire a web designer. because they are experts in that. But hiring a web designer can be quite expensive. And sometimes when you're starting out, you don't really have the fund to be able to have a good web designer. And finding the right person can take a long time because you want someone that gets you and gets your vibe and will do a great job with you. So it's very time consuming and it requires a lot of money. Plus, once you get your website, you would have to constantly hire someone to maintain it and change it if you need amendments while your business is growing, things are changing. So you will need your website to change at the same time. And if you don't have the tech behind it, then you will have to hire someone all the time. So what I'm offer now is I want to offer an alternative solution where women can build their own website themselves without needing any coding knowledge. So what I've done is build themes specially designed for female coaches that have all the functionalities they need to grow their email list, to sell their product, to offer their packages and showcase the testimonial of their client. And all that has already been coded. So you simply have to input your content and drag and drop the element to create your own website. And you don't have all the tech and the coding and the CSS and all the thing around because it's already coded and you just put your content in it.
It is already coded. And not only is it already coded, Goddess Amanda, but you made these sites beautiful. And I have to share with people, I mean, if you're somewhere where you can take a look, stay with us. We want you to stay with us. But if you can see her site on my special link, if you go to web.sacredbombshell.com, someone put that in the comments, web.sacredbombshell.com, and that'll take you right to her beautiful sites. But let me tell you how I initially found you. It was exactly like you're saying. And it was before, I was ready to invest in, I was having a lot of frustration with, hiring people to build my site and trying to communicate to them what I wanted. And it wasn't working out. And I wanted to find a template. But none of the templates that I was finding had, the things that I know, the things that I, as a coach, teach the coaches and healers and creatives that I coach to put on the website. So the opt-in space and a space to introduce yourself and all of those elements that I know that we need on the front page of our sites. People were having websites that did not have that. And then when I found you, and you were number one for female entrepreneurs, ding. Number two, you had the opt-ins, everything there easily built in, making it, tech proof for, people like me who tech is not my zone of genius, and they're pretty sites.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I showed my sister Damali is going to be using your beautiful templates to build her site as well.
Perfect.
Yes. And what made you decide to focus on female entrepreneurs? Because the sites are really pretty too.
So I started out 3 years ago. I left my corporate job and I already had all the knowledge about coding and everything, but I had no knowledge about building a business. So I knew I wanted to help people and I knew I wanted to build my own thing. And I was just thinking that, I'm just going to get out there, propose my services, and I could see a lot of websites I would need some enhancement and would need my help. It's going to be super easy to get customers. But actually, that wasn't at all. And I realized that I didn't know anything about building a business and I needed help on that side. So what I've done, and like everyone, I just Googled it. I Googled it and I found all those amazing entrepreneurs, all those amazing coaches that were out there with all those skills and all this knowledge, and they were offering to people and sharing everything with people. And I thought it was amazing. And I was thinking, that's what I want to do. That's who I want to help. I want to support those people that help other people. And that's how I decided that I wanted to work with coach. And I realized that they were really good at conveying the knowledge, at sharing their knowledge, but there was not a lot out there to help them do that in an efficient way in terms of website. And that's why I was thinking there needs to be a template. There needs to be something that not just is coded. So it's not just a website because you can't have anything out there, but it's just giving them a framework to work through it so they can just, put all the knowledge in it. And it looks like a coaching website, and it brings people to want to know more about them. So this is really how I ended up having a niche about female coach.
Ah, perfect, perfect. And what has been the reaction to your business? Are other people as passionate and as excited as I am about it?
Definitely, because we all out there, all my customers are there to help other people. So it's really positive. Everyone is super positive. That's what I love with female entrepreneurs, female coaches, is they're also motivated and positive. So it's been amazing, and I have to say that my customer is my biggest motivation. And every time I receive nice testimonials on an email saying thank you so much, or that makes me so happy, and that makes me want to do even more with them and even more to help them.
Yes, because one of the reasons why I was drawn to you is that although we do totally different things, we have the same calling. You wanted to help the helpers and help change the world by giving the helpers the vehicle in order to do that. And I was like, yes. And here's how long I've been following your business and your evolution of what you've been doing. One of the things that I encourage the beautiful gurus that I work with is the power of your own brand and you being seen. And so you didn't know I was going to ask you this question, but when I first started following your sites and using your products, you were not seen. I didn't see your face or your name anywhere there. And I remember the way that I found you is I put my assistant on it. I said, Michaela, track down, go do some research. Who is the person behind this site so that I could decide if this was someone that I wanted to interview and bring the person to my audience. I didn't know if it was like some, man in a, wherever trying to design sites for women, which would be fine, but I wanted to know. And she tracked down and found you. And now your beautiful face is right there on your website with your name, with everything. Did you have a challenge in the beginning with putting yourself out there, or was it just you wanted to build the business first? Or tell us a little bit about your journey there.
Yes, actually, at the beginning, I was very scared because, as you know, when I was corporate, I was just a cog in the machine. So I didn't really need to put myself forward. It was just my skills. So I kind of replicated the same thing in the business, and just so that I wanted to put my product first. But something that I learned with freelancing and working more closely with entrepreneurs is that people trust other people and want to buy from people. And they want to know that you're a real person behind them, exactly like them. And I realized that I needed to be like the coach. I was proactively creating themes where it was very personal. It was very about them and about people, but I wasn't doing it for my own brand. So I had that like realization when I started networking. It's like, oh, so you're the person behind it. And I just realized that people needed to know me a little bit better to be able to trust me, to be able to see she's like me and she can help me.
Yes. I think that's such an important lesson and a valuable lesson for everyone who is watching. Not only do we want you to go to her site, which you can link through web.sacredbombshell.com and see her beautiful site templates there. And I'm going to be taking questions in a minute. We'll figure out where I'm going to find your questions because we moved around a bit, but I'm going to be taking your questions about you building your website in a second. But the power of you deciding to be seen. It starts with the courage to put yourself out there and be seen, just like you were allowing your coaches to be seen.
At the beginning, I was very wary. The fear I had really was that I felt so much pressure with other people apparent success. And it kind of crushed my confidence because I loved exchanging with all those amazing entrepreneurs, and I was on a lot of Facebook groups, and I saw that everyone was so successful, and I was just thinking, I'm just starting out. Who is going to trust a newbie? Who is going to trust this new business? And I kind of this, imposter syndrome a little bit. I was feeling I want to show my know-how first. I want to show my tech first, and then maybe later I'll grow my confidence. But I really realized that when I started to put myself out there, then my business really took off. And it really made it a brand much more than just selling some themes. So I would advise to anyone out there, it's very scary. You don't want to do it at the beginning, but just try it out and you'll see that you will have a much better reaction out of people than you expect. And it's going to help your business so much.
It's everything. You are singing my song, sister. It starts with the courage of being seen, the courage of being seen.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about the front page of the website, right?
Yes.
Which is your digital home, your digital face, where you're introducing people to the world. And again, I can't promote her work enough. Go to web.sacredbombshell.com and check out her work there. So when on the front page of a website, what elements do you suggest? If someone is building a website as a coach, a healer, a creative, what do you recommend?
So the first thing is what they will see when people land on your website is the hero. That's what I call the hero. You know, it's a big image. You need to hook them there. You need to say what you're doing. It needs to be clear. It needs to be punchy. It needs to solve a problem, something that you know your ideal customer will want out of you. Thing is, don't try to please everyone, because you need to have a core customer, you know, I can help you on that specific issue. And you need to hook them from the beginning. It's very important, because if people don't know what you do, they won't want to know more about it. Then something that is also important is, especially if you're a coach, to bring out what makes you you. So a picture of yourself, a little bio, why do you do what you do, who you are, what's your story, just a little bit, so people know who they are addressing. It's especially important when you're a coach, because you know you're selling product or you're selling services, but it's very personal and people need to relate to you. So an about section is super important, I think, for female entrepreneurs out there. But just make sure that it's not just about you, because at the end of the day, you want to help them. So it needs to reflect something about your ideal audience. And it needs to be able to lead towards how you can help them. Another thing that is extremely important, and I will never say it enough, is testimonials. Because you want people to trust you. There are so many people out there that say they can help you, that they have a 15K months, that they're six-figure business. They're everywhere. We don't know who to trust anymore. And seeing that you work with other people, that those real people actually trusted you and you've achieved something with them, is so important, because no one would want to work with you if they don't trust you. So they need to see that people like them trusted you and people like them work with you and had results. So I think that's the three main things. Then obviously you're still a business and you want to help people, and it's amazing, but you're a business and you need to get your customers to have the first contact with you, or at least have the first give their email address, or give some kind of sign that they're interested. And an amazing thing for it, and an amazing to grow your email list, is to have an opt-in, to say, I can help you with something. You can have a freebie, or you can have a program or a call. And then you can see that they can just very simply, in just putting their email address and their name, say, I'm interested. And that's also reassuring for you, because you know that people out there say, I'm super interested. And it doesn't commit them in anything, because at the end of the day, they just get some value. And in exchange, they just say, hey, I'm here and I'm interested in what you do. So I think an opt-in is the fourth thing that you should have on your home page, and pretty high as well, because you want them to be engaged from the beginning. And then after, it depends on you. If you want to directly sell to them, then you can have your services directly on your website and on your homepage, saying, here is the link to my services. You can know more about it. And then just people have to say, you know what, I want to know more about it, and click on this button. Or you can just decide to engage with them on the background and then just say what you're about, and not put your service block, I'd say, on your homepage, because it really depends if you'd rather have a personal contact first and then you can contact them by email, or if you'd rather have your offer directly on your website and they can just purchase it.
Perfect. And so I want to just go through again and just highlight the things that you said. I'm going to ask you in a little bit what the biggest mistakes that you've seen that people make on their front of their page of their website. But I want to just highlight what you said, because the goddesses in my Spiritpreneur Guru Academy will recognize everything that you have just said. And so I just want to reiterate it. So she says, the hero, your image at the top that lets us know you are an expert, you are highly branded, you're having the courage to be seen. Because why would I, if I'm going to have a personal relationship with you as my coach, as a healer, as a creative, you know, and you are going to give me permission to shine, you have to first have the courage to shine yourself, just like Amanda was talking about in her own journey. Having an opt-in where you're going to give me a free gift, an ethical bribe, something that says, here is in exchange for my email address, because we visit hundreds of websites a month or a year or whatever. Chances are if someone comes to your website and you have not captured their email address, they may never come again. And so you want to begin a relationship with them. So that is going to take an email address. And in exchange for them paying you with their email address in order to have this relationship, you're offering them a free gift. The other thing that Amanda touched on, which is very important, is niching down, which is what you have the most issues with, my goddesses. I say all the time, you're not for everybody. I'm not for everybody. Amanda's not for everybody. So see how she made her business about female entrepreneurs. She is speaking to a very specific audience. Who are you speaking to? And we call it in our tribe, Goddess Amanda, we call it your soulmate client, being specific about that. And so all of these things I think are really, really important. Her site makes it effortless. You just have to cut and paste and plug and play at web.sacredbombshell.com, web.sacredbombshell.com. So Goddess Amanda, what are the biggest mistakes that you see? And while you answer that, I'm going to go hunt around on the other pages for people's questions because we've moved around to do the interview. So answer, and I will go find the questions. What are the biggest mistakes you see on that people make with their websites?
So I'd say the first mistake is, as you say, they don't niche down. They want to please everyone. They want to offer everything to everyone. So they will have a million different services, a million different things. Instead of sorting one problem out, instead of having one answer and being an expert in something, they will try just to answer everything. So for example, a coach is going to be a health coach, a well-being coach, a life coach, a business coach, and they will touch on also social media, and they will try to offer so much that at the end of the day, it's just jack of all trade, but master of none. And people would rather address an expert that can help them in something very precise than have the impression of you being able to do everything kind of okay, but not perfectly. So really niching down your service and your offer is super important. Something that is also important in the same vibe is don't put too much on your website, don't put too much, especially on your homepage, because you want to filter people towards a certain goal. You want them to take a certain action. So have one goal in mind when you create your website and get everyone through it. Because otherwise, people will get overwhelmed. They won't know where to look. They won't know what to do. And it will end up as them doing nothing, even if they would be interested in working with you. So have one goal, really, when you're doing your website, and have those calls towards this goal everywhere you can, because people can have just the click thinking, I really want to work with it at any point on your website, and you want to make it easy for them to contact you and actually action on it. So one goal, but a lot of call to action all across your website. Another mistake that I see is that people are trying to look as much more expert and try to put straightforward big figures on it. And I have to say that it raised some kind of question mark sometimes on people, where I can see a lot of websites where they put a lot of I'm 6-figure business or I'm a millionaire and nothing to back it up. So always back up everything you say, show proof, show, for example, if you're a success business coach, show picture of you being successful with your clients, picture of you interacting with people. It's very important to create trust on your website. So all those trust factor of testimonials, picture of yourself, picture of your working are super important. And if you just chuck out there 6-figure business, 6-figure months without backing it up, then people would just be put away because they don't know if they can trust you on that.
Yes, I think that that is it. That is so important. We call that social proof. So you want to have
Exactly.
your proof on your website because, again, like Goddess Amanda said, it's the internet. So people are saying all kinds of things. We're getting emails from Nigerian princess. Shout out to my
Oh,
Nigerian.
yes.
You know, so we want to have social proof. So some forms of social proof include your testimonials, people who can say, look, I did this. I was in her health program and I lost the weight, or I did whatever it was in her program. I got the result. You know, like the way I'm able to give a testimonial for Amanda and say, oh my goodness, I'm passionate about this. I recommend it to my sister. I recommend it to, you know, whoever. And that means something. The other thing you want to have is if you've been covered in publications, if people have done interviews with you, you want to give us, you know, the logos or the links to that so that we can see, okay, you know, it's not just me or it's not just her word I'm taking for it, but
And they
look,
mean business.
yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. And so one of the questions that I think that a lot of women entrepreneurs also ask is, with your, let's talk about, because you're an expert in branding and imagery, really, what should your photo look like? When I see your photo, it is beautiful, it's clear, it's crisp. When I look at a lot of coaches, healers, gurus, their website photos, sometimes somebody's cropped off, sometimes it looks blurry and unprofessional. And then you wonder, okay, well, am I going to trust you with my life? Talk about photo imagery and your brand, your personal brand.
It's very funny because I'm writing an article right now about it because that's something that I've noticed exactly like you, that people will have a nice website but won't follow up with nice pictures or will follow up with pictures that have nothing to do with our branding. So my first advice would be to try to have professional pictures. It doesn't have to cost a lot. It doesn't have to be 100 pictures, but it needs to look professional. The lighting needs to be good because people, like, even if you're like, you're real and it's true, but you still want to have the best image possible, and professional picture will definitely help you with that. Then another tips with professional pictures is to try to have colors on it that reminds your branding and your colors, because then it will just merge into your website perfectly and it will be just consistent. So for example, if your brand is black and gold, having a black top and gold shoes is perfect because it will just look perfect on your website. Having picture of you is extremely important. Stock picture are great to just have this feel of entrepreneurs, but a picture of you is 10 times more efficient on people. And you're smiling because people want positive people. So be smiling. You're working as well because they want to see you at work with other people in action, doing what you do best, helping people. So having people having photos of you with other people, helping them, you smiling and positive, will definitely have a great impact on everyone looking at through your website.
It really does. And it makes a difference. We're visual people. So if you tell me, okay, I am a speaker, I make speeches, it sounds great. It sounds, you know, basic, but I need to see you on a stage making speeches. If you tell
Exactly.
me I'm an author, I need to see you with your book or see your book. I need to
Yes.
seeing is believing, right?
Yeah, exactly. So show that you're getting out there, that you're working with people out there, that you're positive, and it will transpire through your picture. It will create a real vibe and a real mood that is complementing with your copy and is really making your website stand out from other websites.
Beautiful. Okay, so a question that came through for you, and people, the best place to post questions is on the YouTube video link. Okay, so Frankie says, this presentation is very informative. Thus far, you goddesses have answered all of my questions. Wonderful. Goddess Shu wants to know if she can integrate MailChimp with your templates. Can she integrate MailChimp with your templates?
Yes, actually, my templates themselves have been built to work directly with MailChimp. So if you install the demo, you will already have the opt-in that you just need to connect it to your MailChimp account through this little plugin that is already installed in the theme, and it will directly, every time someone fills the opt-in, will transfer it towards the list you decided in your MailChimp account. So it's already completely optimized for MailChimp. It's also work with Aweber, ActiveCampaign, or other email provider. And you simply have to install the free plugin, and it will directly link the opt-in to your email list. So every time someone fill it, it's already in your email list, and you can start sending them emails.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so I want to talk about the technical part of WordPress, because a lot of people ask me, well, can they use Squarespace? Can they use that or the other? And WordPress, I really recommend because it is optimized for SEO, meaning that Google can find your site and your content easily. What do you say to people who want to use other platforms? All of your work is done for WordPress. Can you talk about WordPress?
So there are different platforms out there, such as Wix or Squarespace, and I think they're great. Honestly, I'm not going to tell you that they're not good, because I think they're great. If you want a simple website and you don't want to trouble yourself with hosting, then you can go with Squarespace or Wix or Weebly even. But WordPress has this other dimension that it has first a huge community which is helping each other so much. You will always find someone out there that can help you with your WordPress problem. And it's powering, I think it's more than a quarter of the web out there. So it's so powerful. You will always find someone that is doing it as well and that will be able to help you and guide you. So this is the first thing. And another thing is WordPress is so big and has such a big community that people are developing so much you can get whatever feature you want. You want a membership site? You can get it in WordPress. You want to book appointments? You can get it. Whatever you want, it's possible in WordPress. And that is big strength compared to every other platform. And is a bit more restricted in terms of features. So the advice I would say is you can start with whichever platform you feel more comfortable with, and it's completely fine. But if you really want to grow your business and you think you will have some more needs and specific features you will want, WordPress is a platform for you.
Oh, great. Okay, so someone wants to know what kind of support you offer once people purchase your site, purchase your templates. What happens if they have a question?
So support is a super big thing for me because I want my customers to feel guided and supported all the way while they're doing their website. So it's one of my number one priority. The first thing is I don't want them to wait. I mean, they need to have the answer right now because, we're a business, so time is very precious. The first step is my knowledge base, because in that knowledge base, I've put all the answer of the most recurring question for my customers. So they don't need to write an email. They don't need to go to the support system. They can start by the knowledge base and have their answer straight away. Because for me, that's the most important thing. They get their answers. But I also understand that, each product is special and some people have some more needs. And if you need more help, then it's completely fine. And we're here to help you. If you need to more discuss with people, because sometimes having an interaction is important. So if you need to address someone, then we have our support platform where we support our people through emails. And so I work with Honey, which is my support goddess, and we really try to answer every support question within one business day. Because as I say, I know time is important, it's critical, and time is money. So we want to support as soon as possible. As I said, support is super important for me, and I want to make sure that there's always someone on our end to answer your question quickly and efficiently. So the team is always growing, and I'm in the process of training Mark, which is no support recruit, and knows that if a business doesn't support the customer when the product is purchased, and they will go nowhere, because you will always have people that needs a little bit of support because it's the first time they do it. It's still a little bit technical, and we're here to help them. And we're here to nurture that relationship, because it's not just about selling a product, but about having a whole experience with your customer and making sure that they get what they need.
Yes, it's so important. Nothing should ever be just about selling the product. It's all relationships. We're in relationships with our customers, our clients, our soulmate tribe. And so one of the questions that someone wants to know is, Goddess Amanda, do you offer installation services yet, or do you just teach us through your knowledge base?
So I teach you. But I also have this new thing that I'm super excited about, and I really love this question because that's what I've been working for the past few months. So I realized when I talked to my client that the most number one feedback I got about what was difficult about building their website was the hosting and the setup. When you choose WordPress, you have to choose a host, you have to install WordPress, and it can be complicated when you've never done that. So I was thinking I need to do something about it because that's the number one barrier. Because before being able to use my theme and make it easy, you have all these technical steps before. And then I decided, you know what, there's something I can do. I'm a coder. I can just automate everything. And that's what I've done. So basically, I've created my own platform where now, little by little, I've developed it for every of my theme. But I'm offering you to host your website and to do all the setup and all the installation and have the theme ready with the demo installed within a couple of minutes. So in a few clicks, you can just choose the theme you want and insert the domain, your domain name, and your website is ready. And you just need to bring your content in it and you're ready to plug and play.
Oh, that's great. Yes, plug and play, because one of my favorite things about using your site was not only that it was pretty, but then I didn't have to go to somebody every time I needed a word change or something updated. It was very easy just to go in, even to change a color was very just one click, change an image. Everything was one click, very, very easy for those of us who are not coders and not technical people. So I wanted, let's switch gears before we close. And I would love for you to share a bit more about you as an entrepreneur, because I feel like that's very helpful. How I know there's no average day for any of us who are entrepreneurs. What is an average day and what do you do for your self-care?
So it's a good question. As you say, there is no average day, but it's true that I have some kind of technique that I try to use. So, for example, I always start my day by reading a little bit. I usually wake up very early, and it's not like any alarm. It's just my internal clock that just tell me it's time to wake up and to do something. So I always start with reading a little bit of motivation or ebooks and things like that, because it really puts me in a good mood and it really motivates me to do something with my day. So that's super important for me to start with that. And then what I love to do is use the Scrum principle. So it's something that we use in project management, and that's something that I've used for years before in my corporate environment. And so it's kind of a ghost of the past, but it really helped me structure my day, because when you're an entrepreneur, it's very difficult to decide what to do, what to work on, or decide when to work, when not to work. And you have to really decide of everything. So if you wanted not to work at all, you could not work at all. If you wanted to work like from 7 o'clock to 10 p.m., then you could do it, but it wouldn't be healthy. So what I try to do is every morning, start by having this kind of preparation and planning where I plan all the list of tasks I need to do, prioritize them, and allocate some time. So I know I'm going to work from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m., for example. And once I have my list of priorities, then I can walk through it. And usually it's starting by touch basing with my team or checking support tickets, checking the latest news and sales. After it will be planning, executing marketing steps, because I'm a coder, but since I'm an entrepreneur, we kind of have we are hold the hats, and I have to do my own marketing as well. So doing a bit of marketing. And finally, I like to keep the development at the end because it's my relaxing time. It's a time where I really enjoy. So usually, yeah, that's how I do it. And I always close the day with a review of what I've achieved, what is still outstanding. So it's very easy for me the next day to pick it up. So that's kind of how I structured my day.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. I think that it is very important to have structure. And I think that the Scrum approach is a very, very valid one for entrepreneurs, because people think, oh, well, you could do anything. And so that's a blessing, but it can also be a curse.
A curse,
because
exactly.
it doesn't finish. That is, I'm so glad that you shared that. Okay, so we have one more question.
Yes.
So last question is, someone wants to know, she uses Divi Design. She wants to know if that's compatible. I believe that's another theme, but you can answer.
That's another framework. Yes, Divi is another framework. So that is built especially for web designers. So it's a great framework as well, where you can code your own design, but it needs a little bit of code and a little bit more knowledge of web design. That's why I didn't want to build my business on something that needed tech. So what I've done is created my own framework where there would be no CSS, no HTML, nothing like that. So it's not compatible with Divi. It's just a different framework.
Okay, all right. And the website is Launch and Sell. You can access Amanda's Launch and Sell, Launch and Sell, Launch and Sell at web.sacredbombshell.com, web.sacredbombshell.com. Goddess Amanda, this is the first of many conversations. I will be sending everybody your way. I'm a big supporter of your work, and maybe we will do another Spiritpreneur class together or something in the future, because I think that, the website is the front face of everything else that we have to offer. Social media is great, but YouTube can disappear, Facebook can disappear, Twitter can disappear.
Exactly. And when they change algorithm, all of a sudden you can't reach your people anymore. Having your own platform is super important. And I'd love to discuss even more that with you and have another podcast with you. Thank you so much for having me. It was amazing.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And so if you want to know more, you have questions for Amanda, her website is Launch and Sell. You can access it at web.sacredbombshell.com. She has a great knowledge base, which is the support system on her website. If you have questions, type them in and chances are there is an answer there. If not, get in touch and they will get right back to you. This has been a great conversation. And if you're watching, I'm proud of you. You've already taken a step toward your dreams. Now take the next step and be heard, be seen, and be a movement. Namaste, my goddesses. Bye.